In this video, I'm going to break down my entire monetization strategy for generating $121,000 in 60 days, selling an AI automation and coaching program. This is an automated content system that has been purchased by well over 250 people. It's a combination of AI automation technology and also my proven process for scaling your content, which does include personal coaching from me. And I'm also going to break down the strategy and funnel for a new paid community I just launched that is now generating $20K a month in just 19 days. And here's a screenshot of my current standing in the Skool games where if I win, I get to meet Alex Hormozi. And in this video, I'm going to help you understand the entire funnel strategy, the number one mistake I see a lot, why community is so important, the old way of doing things, and the new way, the community funnel. I'll talk about why I think Skool is the best platform. And then I'll actually break the progression I went through down into tangible phases, just like this, with complete funnel strategies on each different phase. And then I'll show you how to build out the entire funnel step by step. How do you actually plan out your community, developing your mission and vision and your unique selling proposition. I'll explain how to think about it and how I broke it down for my own communities. And then we'll actually go inside my communities. I'll show you how to build out everything, coming up with a name, logo, taglines, what type of content you need inside of your community to get started, how to build out your calendar and the classroom, how to develop your about page, all the important things that you need to launch. Then we'll go through how to develop a pre-launch plan, everything that you need to get ready, and what to do after you've launched. Then finally, we'll cover external landing pages, just like the one I showed you here for my product, the Content Engine Database, which I sell for $4,500, and how that integrates into Skool automatically so that when people purchase, they get access to this course and the community, all automatically. All right, so the first thing I'm going to cover here in this video is just the number one mistake that I see, especially with people that are just starting out in the online world when they are developing their first couple of products or services, and that is just second guessing everything. You know, is this the best way? Will person X, will this type of person join a community? I don't know if they will. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. But in reality, there's a lot of questions that just have to be answered by action. And really, is there a single best way? I mean, I look online all the time and there are people doing things a number of different ways. And I've really just developed my own way, taking what I've seen other people do and trying to simplify it, mostly so that I just take action and I get my products and services in front of people so that I can sell them to them. And then I can make those products better as they use them. And it's also easy to get stuck here where you just keep asking yourself if this type of person will want to join my community. I've had all sorts of people that have joined my community, busy professionals that are running very large businesses, all the way down to people that are just getting started. So just about any type of person will join your community. There might be certain individuals that just don't want to be a part of a community, but I think the growing sentiment and trend is to be a part of communities that have a strong mission and vision and are aligned with what they're trying to do. Don't worry so much about whether a certain type of person will join your community or not. And it's just a good reminder that progress is better than perfection. There are times to do everything perfectly, but I think that largely applies to the more experienced businesses with proven results who can just afford to spend money to have people do everything for them. When you're just starting out, the most important thing that you're going to do is just get out there and talk to people and ask them to join your community through one-on-one outreach and content. And then one final reminder is to just reduce the scope of your plans until they feel manageable and it doesn't overwhelm you. So now let's talk about why community. Why not a weekly email where you get someone to sign up to your newsletter and you ping them each week to buy something from me? Well, a group of people on a mission is much more valuable than a weekly email. And I think the market in general is just becoming tired of that trick, which is to give away something for free in exchange for an email and then continuing to email you every week until you buy something. The new way of doing things is to develop community and to develop a mission and vision that people can be aligned with. And the other thing that's great about a community is that you don't need that email list. Of course, you could add one, but with Skool, when you make a new post, you have the opportunity to send that post to all of your members. So you really don't need to maintain that email list, and you're going to have a much higher consumption of your content, which is going to lead to higher sales. And the community really becomes the center of everything that you do. So if we look at the old way of selling stuff online, you're making content, you're driving traffic to some sort of opt-in free offer, you're getting people on your email list, and you're trying to get them to take some sort of action to book a call or to sell some sort of product. And you can see in this process, there really isn't a real opportunity for you to interact one-on-one with your potential customers customers and your tribe. It's a pretty transactional flow. And the new way is actually a much more simple funnel. You simply create content, you generate traffic into a community that also has resources. And like I said, the community really becomes the strategy. If we look at what's happening here, we're creating content, we're generating new members inside a community, people that we can actually interact with and get feedback. This feedback helps us generate new content to generate new members and also to generate additional content for the community. It's helping us build better products that can be sold into the community. And of course, the community itself can talk about you and help you generate additional members. So here, what I'm really talking about is the community itself is the strategy. The entire strategy is built on bringing together like-minded people that are on a mission that helps you generate the best content and the best products in the marketplace. So next, let's talk a little bit about why I pick Skool and why I think this is the best platform to pick. There's obviously lots of different community platforms. And number one, it's really just because it's very simple. If you look at their interface, there's not a whole lot going on. The primary thing that you want in your community is engagement and people helping each other. And that is front and center in the community tab. You can pin important posts to the top, and then people can post and ask questions. And then because the interface is so clean, you don't have people getting lost into all of the different features that a community might offer. You also have a classroom and a calendar. So because it's simple to use and there's high engagement, people are more likely to stay. And it also has a lot of touch points. So when you build out your community, you can interweave your messages so that when people come into the community, they're going to go to the classroom. You can tell them to start here. They can go here. You can send them through a series of steps to get introduced to your community where you can explain your mission and your vision, the various rules. You can ask them to introduce themselves, and you can actually link that introduction post to this main thread here so they can click into that. And then in that same introduction post, you can give them other instructions. You can link back to the rules in case they came to the introduction another way through the community tab. You can use these 3 links on the side of the community to get people to go to the start page or to learn about your products. You can create a course that is just there to help promote a paid product. You can link your testimonials and case studies directly in those courses. You can build out your calendar such that the calendar links also will promote your courses where people can find links to purchase. So a Skool community really just has a simple interface that allows people to be exposed to all the different things that you want them to be exposed to in a relatively short period of time. And then they'll also be reintroduced to those things over and over again over time as they explore and interact with the calendars and the classroom and the community and the various links that you have to help people get around. And then the final thing to think about with Skool itself is that there's a lot of community crosstalk. There's a lot of different communities that are very easily found. There's a discovery link here. What you're going to find is that even though you're building your own community, there are hundreds and thousands of other communities on this platform. And when people go to your profile or to other profiles, they're going to see those communities. They're going to see what people are a member of, and then they're going to be able to explore those other communities. And so just by having a community here on Skool, people are going to find you through other communities. A large number of these members that I have here did not actually come from social media or TikTok or YouTube. They actually came from other communities that I'm a member of. All right, so now let's talk about the stages of development I went through in order to ultimately arrive at a situation where I'm selling a high ticket automation and AI product along with a low ticket community, because I definitely went through a series of steps before I got here. And usually it starts with done for you. And a lot of the times people want to skip this stage, but I think there's a lot of value in doing the work for people and actually gaining the experience so that when you start to build out your products, your automation products, your AI products, there's a lot more experience that is getting infused with that product to make it a lot more valuable. And I'm just putting some basic timelines here to help you think through how much time you might actually spend at each of these different phases. Here we're doing done for you services with a free product. And the funnel looks like this, where you're creating video content to generate traffic into your free community. From there, people can book a call with your high ticket service where you're generating $2,000 to $5,000 a month from your automation and AI services. And then there's some sort of free automation product that people can gain access to just by joining your community. And it's really through the experience that you have with your clients delivering this service, which is going to help you progress to the next stage where you can actually charge for a low ticket product while you're continuing to do done for you services. So if we take a look at that, it's going to look very similar to the previous model. We're generating videos to create traffic into our free community where they can also either book a call and purchase our high ticket services anywhere from $2,000 to $5,000 a month. And they can also purchase a low ticket, maybe a $97 automation product that could also also help lead into booking a call with you to sell your done-for-you services. And the way that model looks like, it's just going to be a continuation of what we've had before. You're going to be generating video to drive traffic into a free community where people can book a call to buy your high-ticket coaching offer. And once you build out these landing pages, you can actually sell the product without any call at all. So you can see here that a lot of my customers just end up at this landing page from joining the community. They can watch everything. They can see the testimonials. They can watch additional videos on how everything works. I've got my complete story here, as many testimonials as I can fit in, a lot of text here to describe how everything works, what you get, the exact process that you go through. I explain how you can get personalized support from myself, additional testimonials, and then finally they can come and order it and just purchase it right from here. That triggers the entire process. And then before you try to move on from this stage where you actually offer a high ticket automation coaching program and also a low ticket community, you're really going to want to sit at this phase and really perfect that product, get it working well, get happy customers, get these testimonials coming in, get it so you can really scale. I did this for well over 12 months and had 4,500 members in my free community before I even entertained the option of creating a low ticket monthly subscription community. And then if we take a look inside of what that funnel looks like, it's just a continuation of what we've had before. We're generating video, we're generating traffic into the free community where people can again book a call with me to buy the high ticket automation and coaching program, or they can just purchase it right from the landing page. And now they can also see that I have a paid community which they can join as well. And then down the line, obviously, once you have a large enough audience from social media and in your community, and you've really perfected your automation product with the coaching, it's totally possible for you to then develop an actual SaaS product, maybe on Bubble or Software or one of these no-code app platforms. But I wouldn't consider that until you've really gone through this entire process. You have a lot of happy customers and a product that works, because any SaaS is going to need a lot of customers and a lot of cash in order to be successful. All right, so in this next section here, let's really start to talk about how do we plan out this community. Let's talk about community planning, building out this community and developing the idea and the mission and vision and the positioning, and also developing that content strategy for this community before we actually start to build it out. I'm really big about just taking action and building things out, but I think it's worth spending a bit of time to think about these items before you go. So the first thing to do is just test the waters a bit. Go ahead and ask a few people in your network about your community and just get their feedback and use that feedback to map into these next few stages that you have here. And then you're going to want to develop a mission and vision for your community. Here's the vision for both of my communities. For the Content Academy, the vision is a world where everyone has the tools and resources to reach their full potential in the social media and content era. So the vision isn't necessarily something that you're going to be talking about all the time and making all of your posts around this. But I think what a vision does is it paints a picture that is bigger than where you are now. So there is always a challenge ahead of you and setting the bar such that there is always a next level. And notice as well here, I don't use the word I, and I phrase it in a way where it's just the Content Academy is a part of this solution. I'm not saying I'm the only solution. It's a non-selfish way of creating a vision and being a part of it, but really taking your own ego out of it. And then for the no-code architects, the vision here is a world where everyone has the tools and resources to profit and thrive in the AI and media era. And so again, these things take time to develop. So go ahead and write something out. Try to focus in on some future world that your community is going to help build. What are the actual things that you're going to do? And what is that outcome that people can achieve by being a part of your mission and vision? You can start to put that together and then refine it over time. Now, this is a really important part of your community, and that is positioning, really developing that unique selling proposition so that you can really set your community apart from all the others. Now, this is a process that I actually got from Andrew Kirby in the Synthesizer School. I'm not sure if he developed this on his own, but it was a really simple and useful exercise, the best one that I've found to develop this unique selling proposition in a concise and easy manner. There are entire books written about this entire process, but I've never seen something that is succinct like this that helps you develop something that's powerful and meaningful and actually helps you build that unique selling proposition in a simple way. And so the first step here is to define this sentence here, which defines your new opportunity that you're offering to help people get their desire, and that is only attainable through your unique mechanism, which is your Skool community. So for the no-code architects, I really took this and developed this sentence here, which was that software and content are the two best skills that you can leverage to grow and scale a business in 2024, and that the no-code architects community is exclusively the only place where you can learn both skills in one place. So my new opportunity is software and content, and the desire is to grow and scale a business in 2024. And it's only attainable through the no-code architects community, where we show you how to do both of these things, software and content, in one place. And then the next step here is to think through these different sentences here, which really helps you contrast yourself with everybody else in the market. So you can write out a sentence that says, almost everyone trying to achieve this result is doing this. But then you start to articulate why what everyone else is doing is not a good idea. So the problem with that is, and then you just describe why that is a problem. So the way I started to attack that was to say most entrepreneurs that want to build an AI automation business are being bombarded with more and more information every day. And this leads to overwhelm and no way to focus and build an actual business. So I'm describing everybody else and how they're trying to solve the problem, and then articulating why that's a problem. Why is it that the way other people are teaching it is a bad idea? And then you want to further explain the ultimate consequence if you follow the traditional path. And so what I basically said is that this leads people in circles, burnout, and failure. So if you do it the way everyone else is teaching you, you're going to get overwhelmed and you're going to fail. And so then you can go on to these final statements here, which is, so instead of doing what other people are doing, we do this instead. And this is where you insert your specific methodology. So instead, we focus on developing a product strategy that helps you focus on problems that business will pay a premium to solve. So I'm not just trying to give people more and more AI knowledge and trends that's just going to lead to overwhelm and burnout. Instead, I'm trying to get people to focus on a real product strategy that helps people focus on real business problems that people will pay to solve. Then we can actually take what we're learning about AI and actually apply it. And then I talk about how we use viral content on social media to rapidly test these solutions with both new and existing customers. So I'm guiding people away from just taking in more and more information every day into a practical solution that develops a product and a way to get that product in front of people. And then you talk about what the benefit of that unique method is, and then ultimately what that means for the audience, the benefit of the benefit. And so for the no-code architects, this strategy allows us to build highly profitable businesses without the need to sell our time for client work and get overwhelmed by all the AI trends popping up each day. As a result, we enjoy freedom and have a business and life that are both fulfilling and fun. But it's this framework here that I learned from Andrew Kirby. And so again, this is the easiest process I've been able to come across that allows me to build something quite powerful and meaningful, but doesn't require me to become an expert at developing unique selling propositions and having to read all of these different books on how to do it. And then it's also smart to think about, who is this actually for? I broke it down for myself into 3 different categories. People that wanted to get into building a SaaS, coaches and consultants that really wanted to leverage some of the automation and tech that they've built for their clients into sellable services and products. Again, much like the content engine database that I sell today. And then also for the automation and AI consultants that want to take the most common problems that they experience with their clients and actually develop products that they can sell over and over and potentially package with their expertise to sell much higher ticket items. All right, so that covers positioning. So go ahead and go through this exercise for your community. And now let's talk a bit about content strategy. Now that we have a focus, we can talk about how to develop a content strategy for your community. Now, I always think good content strategies usually have 3 main pillars. For the Content Academy, the basic premise of this community is to help you build your own media company that happens to provide products and services. So how can you draw people in with engaging content? And then once they know about you, can see that you offer products and services which they can purchase from you. And in order to build that media company, you need a profitable content strategy, you need an efficient team, and you need an automated process. So you can see here, even though my product here is really an AI and automation and coaching product, which is really focused here on these automated processes, I still talk about developing a profitable content strategy and building an efficient team, because these 2 pillars, even though I'm not selling products related to them, are very important to building your own media company. And the experience that I have here gives me credibility on these automated processes. One of the most important things with AI and automation products and services is that you also have experience and expertise in the skills that you are automating. So because I have a YouTube channel and I'm growing a YouTube channel, and because I have a TikTok channel, and because I've built a team that helps me create content, talking about these things increases the credibility I have with these automated processes that then I can sell in the automation product. So there's a lot of other people out there that have the automation or tech skills that I have, but because they don't talk about these different things and they don't actually do them, their ability to actually generate the product that I have built is less likely to happen. And it's less likely for people to find them credible to actually buy it because they're not doing these 2 things. So again, don't underestimate the importance of developing the content pillars that support the automation and give credibility to you being the expert that is worthy of creating these automations. It's very hard to build an automation for something that you don't actually do. And then when it comes to the no-code architects, and again, even though the focus is on AI automation, in order to actually build a profitable AI automation business, you're going to need a product strategy, and you're also going to need a way to get that product in front of people. So I didn't want to just focus on AI automation. I also need to talk about product strategy. That's why I'm making this video here. And I'm also going to be talking about how do we create that viral content. Because if we go back up to this positioning exercise, again, I spent time articulating that it's software and content that are the two best skills to leverage to grow a business. Again, I wanted to fight against the trends and what other people are doing, which is just bombarding people with additional AI information, and actually help them build a product strategy and a way to get those products in front of people. And so by having a well-rounded content strategy, that is going to make it possible for me to deliver on the promise to the people in that community. So spend some time in the planning phase, test the waters, ask a few people, develop that mission and vision, develop that positioning, that unique selling proposition, and then think through that content strategy, the main pillars, and how those main pillars ultimately support your automation business and the products you're going to develop that people can purchase. All right, so now let's talk about building the Skool site. We're in a groove here. We just talked about how to plan the community, and now we're going to jump into actually building the Skool site. And I've outlined the main things here that I feel are the most critical to get launched. I err on the side of launching as quickly as possible, but these are some critical things that I think every community should have before it gets going. And so I've outlined them here to just make it as easy as possible. So obviously every community is going to need a name. You might already have a name, but if you don't and you're looking for some way to brainstorm it, you can use ChatGPT. I actually use ChatGPT to help me with a bunch of these different tasks here. And the way I went about it is I just said, hey, can you help me generate a name? But before I said that, I came back to the community planning information that I came up with, the mission and vision, and the positioning document that I had created. And I fed that to ChatGPT before actually asking it some of those initial questions. So if you look here, if I actually go to the very beginning of the thread here, one of the things that I did, this is one of the original positioning exercises that I went through. I just gave it this information here and then started to ask different questions. And I don't have any specific prompts to share. I literally just would converse back and forth as if I was talking to somebody at lunch. So I asked it to generate a concise summary of what I had typed in. And when it didn't give me exactly what I wanted, I would just simply say, hey, that wasn't exactly what I looked for. Could you try again? And we went back and forth through a number of different topics, including how to pick a name. And I'm pretty sure one of the original names that it gave me was No Code Rebels. That was going to be the original name for the community. But eventually it gave me this, the No Code Architects. And I felt like that was actually more in line with what I wanted. So don't be afraid to just load up ChatGPT with the different mission and vision and use it in any of these different categories to help you develop the name or the different categories or the leaderboards or even parts of the about page. You don't have to take what it gives you verbatim. You can converse with it, take the things you like and leave what you don't. So you'll go ahead and come up with a name, and then you'll need a logo and image. And the way I've been developing those is using the Fiverr logo creator. This is actually a really cool service. They have a logo maker. I'm going to go ahead and start a new logo. That's just going to ask you a few questions about your brand. And then it ultimately creates all of the assets that you need. You can see here's the one that I created for the content engine. This is the product that I'm selling here. And then it created the No Code Architects logo. And it gives you these logos in real time. So as soon as you go through the process of putting in your information, it's going to generate a logo for you, which you can then modify. If you come here, you can go to create now. You can change the colors. They give it to you in different formats. You can actually change the text. They give you a couple different options in terms of how it looks. Now, of course, you could go through a designer, but for $90, this is a pretty cool way of going about it. Once you put in your brand, you can add a slogan. It's going to ask you about your industry. You can put that in. It's going to ask you what style that you want. Then you can describe your brand. Is it serious? Is it innovative, modern, premium, accessible? And then you can just say, make my logo. Then it's going to match your style against the different designs they already have. And then it's just going to give you a bunch of different examples. You can pick one, and then you can just buy and download it right from there, and then drop it right into your Skool community by going to the settings, going to general, and then updating those things here. And then it's also going to give you this image as well, which you can update from the same screen. Now, when it comes to the tagline, what I suggest is something that's very short. Ideally, it's just 2 lines so that when someone comes and they reads this part of the community, or whether they're there or on the about page, it's just very simple and explains what the community is going to help them do. So for the No Code Architects, I said unlock multiple 6 figures with the power of automation and AI. And for the Content Academy, I said build a profitable content strategy, efficient team, and automated process. The more specific and simple that you can make it, the easier it'll be for people to identify whether it's for them or not and to join. People tend to make this too complicated and vague, and so people really just don't understand why they would join the community. Then you're going to want to configure your main links. For your community, when it's just starting out, I suggest that you just have 2 main links. And the main links I'm talking about are right here. You can see in the Content Academy, I have 3, but for a long time, I just had 2, and the fewer the better. So you can go ahead and use the Start Here link, and I'll cover this soon, but usually you're going to have a Start Here course, and you want that Start Here link to point directly to that. I believe that's how I have this set up in the No Code Architects. Notice here it has Start Here, and if you click it, it takes you right to the classroom, right to the Start Here course, to this first module. And then you can use that second link so that people can book a call with you to possibly work with you. Just like how I outlined in this funnel right here, where people can book a call from your free community. So moving along, when you first launch your community, you want to have 3 pieces of content in the community itself so that when people click on the community, they're going to see 3 posts from you at a minimum. And what I recommend is a introduction thread. You can see here in the Content Academy, I have a thread here, which is for introductions. It really grows over time, and everybody that's new comes in here and drops in their information. And by the way, if you want access to this Notion template, where you can get access to all of this material, including sample posts like the introduction, make sure to jump into the No Code Architects community, where I help people build their automation and AI business. In the product strategy portion of the course material, you'll be able to access this Notion template with all the different sample content, like for your about page, the first message, and it just makes it easy to cut and paste. You can find a link to join in the description below. The next piece of content that you want to make sure you have in your community is a roadmap. This is a simple thread in your community that you can keep pinned to the top, just like I have here. And it basically tells the community what is coming up in the short term, in the long term. And then it also gives you a place to drop in the requests from the community and what they'd like to see. And then you can also drop your past updates as well. It makes a lot of sense, but this was really important in launching my most recent community, where I didn't have all of the content that I wanted to have, but by giving them that roadmap and giving them a place to give their own requests and keeping it updated with the specific date that I updated last, it really gave all of the community members a sense of direction. I had just a ton of feedback about that roadmap and how important it was. And then you're also going to have 1 value post at least, where you give your insight on a specific topic. Here's a sample here that I used for my No Code Architects, profiting from the AI gap, where I explain the importance of using the current models of AI while getting ready for the next one. Make sure you have something in there that someone can read when they join. And then if you have those 3 pieces of content when people first join the community, you'll always have more down the line, but that will get them started and make them feel comfortable. Next, you're going to want to set up your calendar. This is a great way to support the community, allow them to access a Q&A call where you can get to know them, their problems, and figure out what the best solutions are to help them. In the Content Academy, I also use this as a place to promote products by having the weekly events for the paid products that also linked to the landing page to purchase, just like this, in case they hadn't already purchased this particular product. But when you're just starting out, it's best to have at least 1 Q&A call each week so that you can get to know your members and really build that core group of people in your community. And then of course, you can have some periodic workshops as well. Then for the classroom, you want to start off simple. I'll talk about how you can generate artwork for your classroom for these courses in just a second, but you really want to have a Start Here course so that when people join, you're able to walk them through a few steps. Really all you need is this 1 step here, which shares the mission and vision of the community and then also your rules. I actually hate posting rules like this, but it actually gives your community structure, and it tells people that it's a serious place, and the serious members will appreciate it, and they will actually help you enforce these rules by reporting posts that don't meet the criteria. And then at the end, you can call people to action to actually introduce themselves in the welcome post. So your welcome post here can actually be pinned to a course page, which is what we're seeing here. If you have some paid programs, you can introduce those here, or if you have testimonials and case studies, you can link those here as well. But really to start, you just want that Start Here course so that people know exactly where to go. Again, you can link from it here in your links, which can be set right here in the section here. And inside this template here, I actually have the contents for that welcome first step message. Now for the artwork, what I recommend using is something like Canva and Midjourney to help you create the artwork here. In the Content Academy, I kept it pretty simple. I just used Canva and made these very basic thumbnails that I was able to place into the community. What I focused on most of all was just making sure that they were clear and there was high contrast so that it was easy to see, and that there was some variance between the different thumbnails that allowed them to stand out. For the no-code architects and the classroom, I actually used Midjourney to produce these background images. I came up with this prompt here that generally came up with an image that fit each of the different sections. Here you can see there's this big modern library. The weekly challenge is a futuristic stadium. The content engine database is this room with all these different video screens. And so I just came up with the background image, and then I used Canva to overlay this on top of it. And here's a quick look into my Canva account. You can see I just have this ongoing project where I have all of my school thumbnails. Most of the originals that were built out for the Content Academy originated from their templates, or I just took a background and I made something basic myself. And then here is the templates that I used with Midjourney. I simply created this image in Midjourney, and then I just overlaid this text here, which uses the font that I got from the Fiverr template that I bought. And it uses a slight transparency. So there's really no magic here in terms of developing the artwork for your school classroom. And then beyond your start here course, just like this, you're going to want to have at least one automation course, really just a project, a single video that they can watch and implement. And I'll talk a little bit more about that in the pre-launch plan. And so go easy on yourself when you launch your community. All you need is these two courses, the start here, and then at least one other project that they can go through and use right when they join the community. And then you can always add additional courses and material as you go. And of course, you can add that to your community roadmap so people know when it's coming. And as long as you're open and transparent and you're taking people's feedback and they can see progress in your main community roadmap thread, that's going to satisfy the majority of your members and keep them excited about what's to come. Again, I cannot stress enough how important it is that your members can see a roadmap. Next up, you're going to want to have an about page. This is where people can learn about your community. Inside this Notion template here, I have something that you can cut and paste, or you can copy it from the video. This is pretty much verbatim what I have on my no code architects page. I went live with the community with just this. I didn't have a video or testimonials or any other screenshots here like I do now. This video that I have here now that I didn't have when I went live is just about 1 minute and 30 seconds and really just goes into the community and shows behind the scenes what's there. I don't go into a big presentation on why they should join. I just simply show what is there. And then I have a few other screenshots that make it a little bit more obvious what they're going to get, and some social proof in terms of how much income I'm generating with the products that I'm selling, and including some social proof on my ability to create content and draw in new customers from YouTube. But I think this is the section that people are going to see first. So you want to make sure this is nice, clear, and concise and shows the value and what they're going to get. Again, you can cut and paste this if you have the template. And then you're going to want to map out the different categories for the different types of posts. So in each community, when they go to post, they can select from these different categories. And I think it's best to keep it simple so they all fit on this one line. Really try to break down what you have here. The first three really map to my content strategy, which is no code automation, product, and content. And then I've got a few other here for wins, the weekly challenges, and the weekly Q&A calls, and then a general for anything that doesn't fit that. Then you want to map out that leaderboard so that people can progress through the different levels as they gain points and interact with the community. And again, I use ChatGPT. I use that ongoing thread again. So in the thread where I had already given it my mission and vision and my unique selling proposition, I said, if there were 10 levels to go from a noob to a publicly traded company related to this community, what would they be? And so it started to break down the different levels that someone would have to go through. It was giving me sub bullets, which I didn't really need. So I said just the main points. And then it gave me 10 different levels of a progression that I could use in the leaderboard. Some of them I liked and some of them I didn't. And so I started to give it some feedback on what I liked. I locked in certain values and then it started to fill in the gaps. Then I just said, hey, let's lock in a few more of these. And then finally we arrived at 10 different options and I just simply copied them into this with some minor modifications. And using ChatGPT like that really does help out and just speed things along, because it's easy to get stuck on all the different things that you need to create to get your community launched. And then you're also going to want to have a first message. So Skool allows you to send a first message to all of your members. It's right here, auto DM new members. So if we edit this, you can see here that I'm just saying, hey, welcome to the group. Here's the best place to start. But before you go, I ask them what their goals are. So this is a great way to get started. It's a nice warm welcome, tells them where to go, where to click exactly, but then says, hey, but before you go, what are your goals? And then you can have a quick conversation with them and learn more about them before they move on. So go ahead and complete all of these items, get your Skool site built out, and then we can move on to the pre-launch plan. This is where we are going to generate interest in our group before we actually release it to the public. And one of the first things that you're going to want to do is just tell relevant people. Go through your phone, go through your email list, and one-on-one reach out to them, tell them what you're doing and when you're going to launch, and just start to generate some buzz. For the people that seem super interested, you might even want to show them some of the material that you've created in the community planning portion of this template, your mission and vision, and your unique selling proposition to get their feedback so that you can tweak it a bit before you go live. And then again, you're going to want to pick at least one automation project for your classroom so that there is something here beyond just the start here. And that can just be one project that looks just like this. You don't need to have all of these other ones here to start. Obviously, if you have a bunch of videos that you've already made that you can just add in here, go ahead. But you really just need one video just like this where they can watch the entire video and that they can also download the resources to get it installed. So you want to pick one automation project that you can use to get started. And if you don't have one, you can use one of mine. Obviously, you just want to make it your own before you install it into your community. Not so much that I care. I gave away these resources to be used in any way that you please. But if somebody knows who I am and they see it's an exact copy, that might not be great for your reputation. But feel free to use any of the projects that I have as a source of inspiration to build off of. And the way you want to do this is by creating one mega YouTube training and use the giveaway the farm YouTube strategy. My best performing YouTube video and Skool community growth secret is coming from this single YouTube strategy. You want to make a video that no one else on earth could make, at least to your maximum ability. And you want to give away every little detail and step in that video, no gimmicks that force them to buy. So in my videos, I did give them the option to get access to the make.com blueprints and the Airtable database to speed up everything. But in the video, I show them how to build every last little piece. And that's really what's been driving the success of my YouTube channel is giving away everything. You feel like you're going to give away things and then people won't purchase it, but they will. Give them a call to action that gives them access to the make.com blueprint and the Airtable database, which will drastically decrease the amount of time it takes them to install it, and people will join your community. And you're just going to get a lot more exposure and subscribers by doing so. And then all you have to do is drop this video. You can link directly to it and the automations directly in Skool. Just like I did here, this is the YouTube video linked directly. And then I just provide the additional resources here for the people that joined the community. And then you're going to pick a day to go live. And for the next 7 days leading up to that go live date, you're going to want to create promotional content that explains different concepts related to your community. You're going to give value away in those posts, and you're also going to let people know that that community will be live in 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 days until you actually go live. And you can really be posting this content everywhere on social. You can join feeder communities that are relevant to what you're discussing, and you can post content into those communities. Of course, you want to be careful about how you're doing that. You don't want to promote your community. You want to give away value and just let people know your plans. And then of course, you're going to go ahead and start linking up your social accounts to your community. You can link your social accounts directly to your Skool About page so that when people click on your link from your TikTok or your YouTube, they land directly here where they can watch your video and learn about your community. And then you're going to actually go live, and then post-launch. The most important things that you're going to want to do is really establish your core members. Who are those 5 to 10 people that are going to be your most engaged users? Even in a community of this size where you have almost 5,000 members, you really only need 5 to 10 people who are regulars, and then you might have 5 to 10 other people that come and go. But that's all you really need in order to make your community look active. You want to continue to add value on those Q&A calls and use that feedback to create additional content for the members. And then on social media, you're going to want to continue to make daily and weekly content. Each day, you'll want to create at least one TikTok, and on a weekly basis, you'll create another mega YouTube video where you really just give away the farm. And these are the 2 social media platforms that I'm focused on because they seem to be the 2 platforms where if I make good content, they get a lot of views and they bring a lot of viewers into the community. So now that we've launched our free community, the focus really should be in growing that community. In this section here where you're offering a done-for-you service and some free courses that people can take advantage of. When you get to the point where you want to move away from the free course into a low-ticket course that someone can purchase within your community, community. It just so happened that right as I was recording this video, the Skool platform now allows you to charge for a single course. So you can have a free community, but then have a paid course within inside that. All you have to do is go to your course and you can select buy now, and then you can give it a price. I did notice that the maximum price for a course is $999, at least at this moment. So once you move on to something more expensive, like a high ticket automation plus coaching program, you will need to invest in a platform that allows you to build out external landing pages that allows you to integrate it with Skool. So this is the external landing page that I use for the Content Engine Database Extreme. I showed you this a bit earlier in the video. You can watch and learn everything about the program, and then you can finally purchase it for $4,500. The platform that I use to develop that is called Thrivecart. And the reason why I like Thrivecart, which I didn't like in the beginning, is because it is a one-time fee. Once you purchase this platform, you can create as many landing pages and products as you want, and you can sell them without a commission. Now, to start, that price is $500, which is a little bit hard to stomach when you are purchasing it the first time. But when you think about all the other platforms that are going to charge you monthly or charge you a percentage of all of your sales, this actually turns out to be a really good deal. I bought this a couple years ago for $500, and since then it's been all profit. I think the platform is well built as well. They have a lot of different templates that you can choose from, a lot of different options. There are a lot of different ways to configure payments and different options, and you can have upsells so people can add things to their cart to increase the value of the purchase. They have support that you can reach out to. I've really had no technical issues in terms of my landing pages going down. You just have to get over that initial sticker shock of $500, which I think is actually well worth it. Once you log into the platform, it's quite easy to create a new product. It's going to ask you if you want digital or physical. You can create that product. You can give it a name, and you can give it its own specific URL. And then you can leave it in test mode and test the credit card purchases and all the automations behind that. You can adjust the price. And again, there's all sorts of different types of pricing options, one-time fee. There's a subscription, split pay your own price. You can have trials. You can do limited quantities. You can do bump offers so that once somebody purchases, they can be asked to purchase additional items. You can connect it with different payment processors. You can even have an affiliate program. You do have to pay a little bit extra for this. You can design from a lot of different designs. You can pick any of these templates to build from. You can add tracking codes if you're doing ads, and there's different rules that you can add in terms of adding people to your lists. And then what's also cool is that you can set up your automation so that after someone makes a purchase, you can obviously add them to your CRM, and then you can send them a confirmation email about what needs to happen next. You can send them any contracts, and then you can add them to an email list. And then I have a customer success Airtable database that I use to track the progress of all my clients. But the most important ones in this particular process are triggering when there's a new purchase, sending them that confirmation email, and then also triggering that program agreement for them to sign. And then once they've signed that program agreement, then I can actually send them a next steps email, and then I can unlock that course for that member in my Skool community. And even if they don't have a Skool account yet, this will actually allow them to create an account and then get access to the program directly from Skool without having to give them access to the course manually. So using Thrivecart and using the Skool integration with Zapier has been the best way that I've been able to sell higher ticket, a program that is above $1,000, completely automated for a smooth customer experience. So if you want to get access to this Notion template and the templates to set up these landing pages and the Zapier automations to streamline the process with Skool, make sure to jump into the No Code Architects. This is a thriving community, all people trying to build out automation and AI businesses. Plus, you're going to get access to all of the different courses and the template library, where we have a bunch of really killer automation projects and all of the different materials that you need to set it up from scratch. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you on the next one.